Hey guys, welcome back. It's Nikki Free, and man, do I have some tea for you guys tonight. Okay, so I was on Twitter minding my business, and I noticed that Brad Pitt was trending. And I'm like, what the hell was Brad Pitt doing trending? Because, he low-key fell off after the whole Angelina Jolie divorce, the whole debacle with the airplane, like something went down on that airplane. We still trying to figure out what happened. He got off, he was cleared, but people are still questioning like what really happened there, and why would she have to lie about the incident? Like, what happened? Who's telling the truth? Who's lying? Like, what's going on? And why doesn't your oldest son talk to you anymore? I mean, that's kind of fishy because, a lot of these celebrity kids, they're like free thinkers. They do what the hell they want to do. So I feel like if he was like truly innocent, why is his son not talking to him? I don't know. That whole situation just doesn't sit right with me. It's just really weird. But at any rate, that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about why this man is trending. And I'm here to tell you. Okay, so so it starts with this movie. This is what started all of this. There's this movie called She Said coming out. And then they released the trailer. And when they released the trailer, I don't know if they just now released the trailer. I'm not sure. But somehow the trailer was recently released or what have you. And people saw that under the producer credit, Brad Pitt's name was there. Now, why is this a big deal, you may ask? I'll tell you why it's a big deal. Because Angelina Jolie has spoken out about how she came to her at the time husband, Brad Pitt, and like basically confronted him, telling him like, hey, I guess she didn't want him. I guess telling him what happened to her with Harvey Weinstein. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to start quoting her because I want to make sure we get this straight. Okay. So basically, Angelina Jolie, this is from People. I'm getting this information from People. And Angelina Jolie, she said that she fought with Brad Pitt over Harvey Weinstein. And she said that it hurt her that he worked with Harvey Weinstein after she told him what Harvey Weinstein did to her. Yes, sir. Angelina Jolie was Me Too'd by Harvey Weinstein. Okay, so basically what happened was Angelina Jolie, she came out in the magazine and said, in People, and said that she never associated or worked with Harvey Weinstein again. She said of Harvey Weinstein years after alleged abuse she faced during the 1998 film Playing by Heart. So that was the time that this happened to her, and she was young at the time, and Harvey Weinstein basically, and according to her, Me Too'd her. So basically, Angelina Jolie, she says she fought with Brad. Basically, the story, here's her quote regarding Harvey Weinstein. She said that on that, this is regarding the time that she was Me Too'd. She said, if you get yourself out of the room, you think he attempted, but he didn't, right? The truth is that the attempt and the experience of the attempt is an assault. Jolie said, adding, it was beyond a pass. It was something I had to escape. So that's her quoted, that's a quote from Angelina Jolie. She said she had to escape from Harvey Weinstein. So that was pretty serious. So what he did to her. So this was like a traumatizing experience for her. It was horrible. And after that, she never worked with him again. She also talked to her husband. At the time she was married, this was back in 1998, she was married to Johnny Lee Miller. And she told him, she said he was really good about it. And she told her husband at the time, back in 1998, to warn other guys to not let their girls be alone with Harvey Weinstein. So, and she said she also warned people about him herself. So she cut ties with him. She didn't have anything to do with him, and she was warning people about him, et cetera, et cetera. Fast forward, her and Brad Pitt got together back in I think it was 2005, back in the Mr. and Mrs. Smith days. They ended up getting together. He was, let me put a little pin in that thought for a second. I also want to comment on the fact that, yes, now Brad Pitt is seeing some backlash because, you know, of the things that Angelina Jolie said happened on the plane, and people are questioning him and just wondering if he's the same, is he really who people think he is, et cetera, because of the way the things went down with him and Angelina. However, people back then, it's so funny to me because he was the one that was married. He was the one that was, you know, in a relationship at the time, public relationship. Angelina Jolie was basically single at the time, and she was the one that everyone talked about. If you'll notice, no one really said much about Brad at all, and he was the one that left his wife, or they said that wasn't the reason, but, you know, basically on the outside looking in, he was married, he left his wife, and then he went and got with Angelina Jolie. So that's how the events played out, you know, from what we could see. So it wasn't like he was already away from his wife for a couple of years and he got with Angelina. He left, you know, there was some crossover. So basically, the whole point of the matter is, when he started doing Mr. and Mrs. Smith, he was indeed with his wife, Jennifer Aniston, right? So they were together. Whether they were separated, I don't know. But he was married to her. He got married, you know, he got divorced after the fact. Allegedly. But at any rate, but yeah, so he left Jennifer Aniston after that, you know, gets falling for Angelina Jolie, et cetera, et cetera. The point is, he got by scot-free basically, and the blame was put on Angelina. People said all kinds of things about her, and I thought that was like, what? Well, what about Brad? You know, it takes two to tango. Why is no one saying anything about this man who was married, had a whole wife? What about him and what he did to his wife? Anyway, so that's neither here nor there, but I just thought that was interesting that he got away with that. And it really was like almost scot-free. Do you guys remember that? I mean, I don't remember anyone really talking about him. It was all Angelina, that woman, Angelina. She's a husband stiller. You know, it was just so much backlash and you know, visceral for Angelina. At any rate, moving back on to this whole topic here. So basically, we're going to fast forward to her relationship with Brad Pitt. She's no longer with the first guy, Johnny Miller, the one that was great about it and all that back in '98. She's not with him. We're fast forwarding, she's with Brad Pitt, and he is her husband. So he was going to do a film. Well, he did do a film, Inglourious Basterds, with Quentin Tarantino, which was co-produced by the Weinstein Company. And this was back in 2009 when the film came out, sometime around that time. Angelina Jolie was with him at the time, and she approached him, basically told him, you know, her experience and how she doesn't want him, you know, she didn't have anything to do with him. Basically, she didn't want him to be working with Harvey Weinstein because of the type of person Harvey Weinstein was and what he did to women. At any rate, Brad was like, listen, you know, I'm sorry that happened to you, baby, but I got to go get my bag. I got to collect my coin. And this is the man that's going to support this project. You know, I'm working with my guys on this, and I'm going to go ahead and, you know, work with Harvey Weinstein. I'm sorry that, you know, I don't even know if he said he's sorry. I don't know. But basically, he's, in a nutshell, what she said did not move him to not work with Harvey Weinstein. He still worked with him. So she said that really hurt. It bothered her. And I'm sure that really, she said she fought with him. I'm sure that put like a strain on their marriage even. And, you know, fast forward, he also said that Brad Pitt approached Weinstein to produce another film back in 2012. That's after. Now, the film Inglourious Basterds, that was Quentin Tarantino's film, of course, and that one, Brad Pitt was just acting in it. I'm not sure if he was one of the producers in that movie or not. Maybe he was. I'm not sure. But I know it was Quentin Tarantino's movie. But the point is, he still was, you know, working with them because he, you know, he acted in the movie and everything. And perhaps he did something behind the scenes too. I don't know. But the point that Harvey Weinstein co-produced it, and that Brad Pitt was involved with the movie, it hurt her. And, you know, she felt like, hey, I'm coming to you as a wife. You need to stick beside me. And he didn't. Also, this one was not the first time. He also did work with Harvey Weinstein Angelina Jolie said that Pitt approached Weinstein to produce his 2012 film, Killing Them Softly, which the Weinstein Company also distributed. So again, Weinstein again. So, with all this said, Angelina Jolie basically says she had a bad experience with Harvey Weinstein in her youth. And she said, as a result, chose never to work with him again and warned others when they did. This behavior towards women in any field, any country is unacceptable. And that was a quote from Angelina Jolie regarding her experience with Harvey Weinstein. Also, I guess she was approached to work in Avatar and she didn't because Harvey Weinstein had something to do with it. So I don't know. That's really strange that they would even, well, you know what? I guess they didn't know. I don't know. They approached her by Avatar. Maybe they didn't know that she had those feelings towards Harvey Weinstein. Because I'm like, why would they even approach her when they know how strongly she feels about him? But at any rate, also it's weird because now here's the plot twist. Now on this situation with Harvey Weinstein, Brad Pitt has been knowing about Harvey Weinstein because Gwyneth Paltrow, who he dated back from 1994 to 1997, also had a similar experience with Harvey Weinstein when she was 22 and she was in a relationship with Brad Pitt. Now, after getting hired for the lead role in Emma, Gwyneth Paltrow said Harvey Weinstein invited her to his hotel suite where he placed his hand on her and suggested they go into the bedroom for massages. She then confided in Brad Pitt, who subsequently confronted Harvey Weinstein and told him never to touch Paltrow again. So I don't know. So he confronted Harvey Weinstein back then. I don't know. But then they go on to say that Pitt is currently producing a film based on the New York Times reporting of Weinstein's case through his production company, Plan B. Plan B is Brad Pitt's production company. And wow, it's clear that this is more sales, on Angie's book. That's okay. So, okay, I'm sorry. Let me say that again. Okay, so basically, I guess Weinstein said something. So it says, this is what they said Weinstein said. I guess this is about Angelina Jolie. This is in the same article. It says, it's very clear to me that this is for more sales on Angie's book. That's what Weinstein tells people through his assistant. So it wasn't Weinstein talking. It was through his assistant. That's what this says. I guess he said it and had his assistant to relay the message. So it's a more attractive book sale if she mentions the infamous movie producer that may have shown interest in her. Jolie broached the topic of Weinstein with The Guardian while discussing her new book about the rights of minors. So Know Your Rights and Claim Them, a guide for youth, which she wrote. So that's her book that she wrote. I really don't want to go into detail. I really don't want to derail the book into stories about Harvey, Jolie said. So that's what Angelina Jolie said. She didn't want to derail the book. I also remember, this one is not a quote, but there was a time that Harvey Weinstein, he did speak about the actual Angelina Jolie, and he said something to the degree like, well, you're Angelina Jolie, everybody in the world wants you, or something like that. I remember when, I guess, people were, I don't know if someone confronted him about it or what have you, but I do know that he made some type of comment to that degree, and he also said that he never assaulted her. He just said it was Angelina Jolie, everyone wants her, kind of thing. It was something to that degree. So basically he was, in a nutshell, he didn't assault her, but she's so attractive, everyone's attracted to her. Of course, I guess he's saying that she's an attractive person. He was attracted to her, and he may have tried to get with her in a way that wasn't wrong, I guess, because everybody wants Angelina Jolie, something to that degree. But he said that basically, when he was asked about it, he said that basically it's not true. Um, it didn't happen. It's just not. Okay. And you know what? I actually, guys, while I'm talking to you, I found the quote. He said, this is what, it says, you're Angelina Jolie. Every man and female in the world, I'm sure, shows interest in you. Is the whole world assaulting you? So that was what was said about, I guess, from Harvey Weinstein regarding the whole Angelina Jolie incident. I'm glad I found that quote because I really wanted to give you guys as much information correctly as I could. And I'm just doing this video off the fly. It's not like I was very like, I took very many notes because most of this stuff, I know it in my head, but you know how like you know the events and you're familiar with them, but you want to make sure that you have the exact words and it's just not coming off incorrectly because I hate saying things that people said and it's not correct. I try to do my best to say, what things are, the best I can. At any rate, so yeah, Harvey Weinstein, interesting. He said, and I'm going to read this again. He said, it's a brazen untrue and clickbait publicity, the statement continued. You're Angelina Jolie. Every man and female in the world, I'm sure, shows interest in you. Is the whole world assaulting you? Wow. And that was his, I guess, answer to her saying that he tried to assault her. He said there was never an assault, never an attempt to assault. And that's what he said. But we all know what happened to Harvey Weinstein and where he is now. So he denied a lot of stuff. But clearly, he was up to no good. So I do believe Angelina Jolie, of course, on this. And when it comes to Brad Pitt, like I said, Brad Pitt low-key fell off. It's like, I don't know. Like, there's just too much gray area with this whole Brad Pitt thing. We need to know what happened in that plane. We need to know what happened in the plane. Was there a black box? I mean, what happened in that airplane? Because that whole airplane thing, I mean, it caused everything to just end and it caused Angelina to just walk out. So something happened, and I'm sure it's not just that. I'm sure a lot of things happened to build up to that, but that was her final straw. That's what she said. That was it. And also it's very fishy that Brad Pitt's son doesn't talk to him anymore. At any rate, guys, are you guys going to support the film She Said? The people are spoken on Twitter. They said they're not supporting it because Brad Pitt is the producer. They said it's like, what? Like the pot calling the kettle black? Like, how is this happening? How is he supposedly, allegedly a low-key abuser, according to Angelina Jolie, and he's producing a movie about Harvey Weinstein and him, what he did to women when it comes to Me Tooing them. So people are like conflicted, a lot of people. I'm sure there are people who are going to support it. It's basically, these are people on Twitter, and he was trending on Twitter because people are up in arms about this. Comment below, let me know what you think about this. This is a very interesting thing, isn't it? You have to be very careful what you do in this business. There was a time where a lot of men got away and did whatever the hell they wanted to do, but this is a different time. This generation is not playing. They are not playing, and they will pull up old stuff from 1972. And that thing they pull up may just get you canceled. So you really, really, really have to watch how you walk, what you say, what you tweet, what you put on your Instagram. Everything you do right now could be brought up and held against you. And people are getting canceled. People are taking these kinds of things seriously. Like I said, there was a time where no one cared. It was like, whatever, boys will be boys, guys will be guys, and they got away with murder. But as you can see, the tides are turning, and these men old cases are coming up about them, and people are bringing things to the forefront, and people are being held accountable. People that you never thought would be held accountable are being held accountable. I mean, look at Epstein, Weinstein, Cosby. All these people. They're not getting away with things like they used to get away with them. At any rate, I'm going to wrap this video up. I just thought that was very interesting. Very, very interesting. The movie, I'm sure, has, the people who, it's important because it's a true story. These people are trying to get their story out there. So, it's kind of like a catch-22. It's crazy how that works. But a lot of people saw Brad Pitt's name and they decided, oh no. what are you doing on this movie? And some people felt like they don't want to support the movie even because he's on it. Like I said, you know how things go. There are people who are going to support, and there are people who are going to decide not to support because of the people who are involved. And that's just how it works here. That's just how things are in America. What do you think? Are you going to support the film? Does it bother you that Brad Pitt is the producer? I'm interested to know. Comment below. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.